Okay,
Yes.
I'm back. Well, to start again, I said my HACCP team is going to have 4 members. The first to be the quality manager or the quality assurance manager, who is a graduate of food science and technology. Sorry, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
No
Yes.
one can hear me. Okay, okay. Who is a graduate of food science and technology. So you'll be acting as the food safety team lead for the HACCP implementation. Act as the communicator, communicate the plans that the team is making with other members of the company, and will also be in charge of implementation. Then the next is the site hygienist. That's the second member of the team. This person will be a graduate of microbiology, either BSc or MSc level, and the role will be the hygienic design of the facility, because it's one thing to have a HACCP plan, is also another for the plants or the facility to have a hygienic design that would make sure that these plants can be implemented seamlessly. So the hygienic design will also incorporate cleaning and sanitary processes. Then the next person will be the plant engineer, graduate of engineering, say mechanical or electrical engineering. So the role of this person will be to incorporate food safety principles into the machine and equipment maintenance, clean in place processes, all the things that has to do with machines that have contact with the food that is being produced. That is what this person is going to be taking care of. Then the next person is the production manager, graduate of say chemistry, food science, or any science related discipline, an MBA graduate also, who will ensure optimization of production processes to incorporate food safety, making sure that the company is not going to go at loss. We want to make sure that we employ cost effective methods while making plans for the HACCP. I think this four should do. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay. I think that's very detailed. I don't know if Osage has joined back, but that is very detailed. Like everybody had their roles, responsibility, what their qualifications are. And this is what Osage was asking us to do exactly. I just realized also that I did not share. Okay, this table does not have that. Okay, so Osage, are you back in? Just to confirm.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, I made you host already, sir. Okay, that's good.
yeah, so perfect. So
So
my
yeah,
own
Chidima's
Chidima,
description was on
yeah,
point, to be
yeah,
honest.
yeah, it's a very, very good, good try, good attempt. So can we just run to the flowchart from this diagram? So that will require some brainstorming from you. So in the next, let's prepare your own flowchart. So let's in the next 10 minutes, then we'll come and review. So use 10 minutes to read through, understand it, prepare your flow. Because you are the consultant. You are the consultant, or you are the food safety manager, or you're the quality manager. So you should be able to understand the process flow of the operation. So look at this, look at the diagram, look at each step, and use it to form a flow chart. A flow chart is a schematic flow of how your process looks like. So and it summarizes your process. It makes it very, very simple for just anybody to be able to understand. So there's no it takes away complexity and all that from your system. So you're going to go through it yourself, and then let me know afterwards what your flowchart looks like. So 10 minutes. So I'm going to go to take coffee now. So by 11:57, I'll be back on seat. Then we'll look at it again. So maybe I should minimize. I don't know if you have.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you to do. You need to minimize for us to see everywhere, because you see, we can't see all the sections. How would you do this for us?
Section. So the last session is the QA.
QA. So take it up a little, just a little,
I'm not gonna see
a little more.
you guys should still be battling with this first. So yeah,
I think it's okay.
But
like
is it visible to everybody?
Yes, it's okay like this. Well, from my eyesight.
If I take it,
No, it's fine.
it
It's
up,
fine like this. It's fine like this. It's fine like this. Just like
okay, so everybody can see. So okay, so 11:58.
Yeah,
We'll review the
think,
flow chart. So let me allow you think and brainstorm. You can discussion can be going on now. People can be talking,
Yeah, we
it's a
can.
group thing. Let's do it together. You understand? But me, I won't say anything yet.
Yeah, anybody who has his own ready can come up and say why we give other people time to draw up theirs. I'm drawing mine already on paper, though. I don't want to use up. I don't want to use up to 10 minutes. So let's see if I can do it at a shorter time. So if anyone is done, they can share their paper. So the good thing about doing it yourself is it would be nice if you had paper with you or Excel sheet, like Chima was saying, so that for each of the stages, like we mentioned, you create a tab in your Excel sheet. So the first part we have done is creating the HACCP team, because this is the most important part. If you are implementing food safety, you will have created a food safety team. So what I always do is make sure my food safety team is also like similar to my HACCP team. So if you're using an Excel sheet, just create the first tab should be HACCP team, where it has the names, the roles, responsibility, and your functions and all of that. So your second tab, just create a second tab where you put, or if you're using paper, the second paper should be the flow diagram for this. So if anyone has completed their flow diagram, then they can share. So no wrong answers. I think it's just for us to learn. Any fast fingers? I didn't ask Osage to admit people because So I see some people are just joining us. I had to just add them now. So what we're doing is we're trying to draw the flow diagram of the picture you see on the screen. I'm done with mine. I hope I'm correct. Allow. Yeah. Yeah, so I have to say what it is. Is someone trying to speak? Okay, so who is ready to go? I'm ready. But I want to share mine first. Let me call.
Hi, Dom.
Hi, Kinsley.
Yeah, sorry, bro. My vicinity is very noisy. It's
Yeah,
just my
you
daughter
said you
and
were
brother.
out with the.
Yeah. So please, maybe you start with yours. I'll just suggest that you start with yours. Then we all discuss yours as a backbone, make contributions around it. Even if it means starting in the chat box, okay, at this section of your flow, we think this should be there. At least that's the discussion I think Osage wants us to have. We can have one person's own as a backbone, like yours as a backbone, then we all contribute into yours. And I think everybody can participate that way, maybe putting one comment or the other, or even unmuting and discussing it.
Okay.
What is?
Yeah, we can do that also.
You know, it will also help us manage time too.
Yeah, time for me is very important. Oh, okay. So well, so I can okay. I already see Chidima's own. Okay, so I will see how both of them ties in. I'll read hers and read mine. So if there's a gap anywhere, then we can. So for her, she's saying my first one is mixing of RM. For her to mixing of raw materials, raw ingredients. Okay, she's talking about skim milk and sugar. Second stage is sterilizing. The next stage is for her is culturing. Then it goes to mixing. So from mixing, it goes to bottle blowing, right? Hope I'm correct. For mixing, it goes to bottle blowing. from bottle blowing, it goes to bottle bottling and packaging, then refrigerating. So I think, Osage, the only difference here with Chidima's own and mine is, I think after mixing, mine goes to, so after mixing, I put another stage, because maybe for me, I don't like using my mixing tank as also my storage tank. So I just did mixing tank and I did a storage tank before I moved to injection and blow molding.
Okay, Dominic, it is not about what you think. It's about it's about what you have here.
What we have here, okay.
Exactly.
So we'll stick to Chidima's zone, which is here. So after mixing, we go to bottle blowing and bottling and packaging and refrigerating. So
Hi, Dom.
yes, Kinsley.
Yeah, if I take the backbone of what we have already, I would say the bottle blow molding or the bottle making part of the flow chart should be what would you call it? An appendix to the main flow, not as if it's part of the main flow. It should come as a secondary arrow linking to the main flow. I don't know if that's how it's showing.
Oh, you mean the bottle blow molding should not be part of the main flow?
Main flow. It should be an addition, like an additional arrow into the flow. You know, when you have a
it should be like an external process, right?
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. That comes into the main flow.
Yeah, like you hold it.
That's how I did my own. So.
Oh, okay. Someone is saying that's how they did that.
So yes, it should be like secondary.
Like a secondary. You are blow molding outside, then it goes into the process.
Yes.
Okay. So that's another design. Asagi has said my own design it's not good, which is okay. So Asagi, so I think we have three designs now.
So maybe the person will need to project.
No, we just drew it on our paper, on our notebooks. So we'll just so the only one that you can see here now is
nobody's using a lappy.
Yeah, the only one you can see here now is Chidima's zone, which is on the chat group.
Where is the chat group?
On the chat, sorry. So you see Chidima sent one to everyone.
I'm trying to look for it, maybe because I'm sharing the screen, I can't see.
Okay, yeah, you're sharing your screen. So
chat.
Where can you see it now? Let me see. Let me see where I can. At the top of your screen. But I can read it out for you if it's a challenge.
Okay, so maybe you can read it out.
Yeah, so it's basically mixing of the raw material, mixing of raw ingredients first. Then she flows into sterilizing, then into culturing, into mixing, then to bottle blowing, bottling and packaging, and she ends at refrigerating. Okay,
so for the mixing of raw ingredients and all that, then for the sterilization, so what temperature are you using to sterilize?
So she didn't put that, but for me, I think it's greater than 80 degrees Celsius, right? Yeah,
so maybe we should just look online. Or of course, in a normal setting, of course, the company you are going to consult for will definitely tell you their sterilization temperature. But for the purpose of this session, of course, you can just Google online, temperature for sterilization of juice or mixed solution. Let us just put something, and of course, the temperature would have a range. Maybe 80 plus or minus, 0.1 and all that. These are the upper and these are the critical limits. So for each of the sections, you'll be looking at, because those information will be very, very important. But then, of course, they are very important and should be included in the flow chart, the temperature, the upper and lower, the critical limits for each of the steps should be fixed in there. Because what we're just doing now is the flow chart. After doing the flow chart, the next thing we'll be looking at each of the steps. Then we're not going to be identifying the hazard that can happen in each of the steps, whether physical, chemical, or biological, that can happen in each of these steps. You understand? Then we'll now look at the risk. Risk is a function of the probability that something will happen and the severity. Then we are going to use a risk matrix. All of you have the risk matrix already to know whether it's high risk, low risk, or medium risk. So we're going to do the multiplication 1 times 2 or 3 times 4 to be able to categorize each of these steps to be able to show which category they are. So, and the stronger the risk, you understand, or the severity of the risk will determine, will help to also inform if we're going to be making it a control point, an OPRP, or a critical control point. You understand? Then having in mind the definition of what we have as an OPRP and a CCP. You understand? So I hope I'm not making it too complex for you guys, but I'm just trying to tell you guys what we are going to. So we are actually going to still design a table, a very big table, putting all these things. So that is the beauty of HACCP. You understand? Because you need to have a plan for the risk that you have identified. So what can happen there? What control will you put there? Who's going to be responsible for the control? What documentation or documents will you need to put in place and all that? What is the document, the title of the document and all that? So, the verification and the validation of that particular, control point or CCP. You understand? So these are the things we're going to do. So the flow chart, fine. Let's say, okay, yes, we are done with the flow chart. We're done with the flow chart.
Hi,
so,
hi, Osage.
Hello, I'm listening.
Yeah,
hi, Osage.
Yeah.
Sorry, please. I just wanted clarification. I know it works with the diagram you showed, but I just wanted to confirm there might be some other processes that we did not look into. Basis is out of scope of the diagram. That might be a contributing factor to the risk assessment we want to carry out. One point being the material storage before the mixing.
I don't know
how we bring that in, but
yeah, if you joined earlier, I said the prerequisite program will take care of all that. So I said,
okay, yeah.
I said,
under PRP.
Let's assume, yes, let's assume we already have prerequisite program, like the cleaner sanitization. Somebody's making noise. Cleaner sanitization, your pest control, all these things, personal hygiene, they are all prerequisite programs, storage of material, income inspection. You understand? Income inspection, they are all prerequisite programs. So we assume that we have done all that, You understand? Because prerequisite program is the foundation on which your HACCP will stand on. If you look at the HACCP building, you understand the foundation is the prerequisite program, then your HACCP is resting on it. So that's the house of HACCP. You understand? So we have taken into consideration all of that. You understand? So that's why I said what we're doing is kind of abstract, because normally we are supposed to see face to face. We are supposed to be doing some write-up, we're supposed to be showing some Excel sheets, where we document things and all that. But we are just trying to say, okay, we have done this, we assume this, and this is a scenario when you go to your production floor. This is what you're actually seeing, from the production flow. You understand? So we've taken that into consideration. Thank you for that input. So we've looked at the flow chart. So another thing is, again, for us to verify the flow chart, to be sure that the flow chart that you have done, you have not missed out any step, because it's very, very important. The step you missed out could be a CCP. It could be a CCP. So that is why the HACCP team will have to verify, the flow chart that has been done by Chidima or Kingsley for Dominic and Osage Foods Company. Now, the next thing we're not going to do, you've done your flow chart, fine. So we go back to, we go back here, we go back to the HACCP principle, the 7 principle. So the first thing is identify potential hazards and measures for their control. So from your flow chart, you already know, you understand, each of the process step. So the next thing you're going to do is that, okay, this thing is mixing of raw ingredients. So that will be, step 1, mixing of raw ingredients. You understand? I wish there's a marker board and that you can see me demonstrating all this. So step 1 will be, so we've done with the flow chart. So the next thing is now going to be that we need to now do, the hazard analysis. You understand? We need to, identify the potential hazard that can happen in each of these steps that you have identified in your flow chart. Do we all get it?
Yes.
So number 1 is going to be mixing of raw ingredients. So I'm just, using my brain to say, okay, yes, you are working with an Excel sheet. Okay, wait, let me see if I can project maybe an Excel sheet. Sharing of, okay. Share, let me see if I can see an Excel sheet that I can project. Good. Wait, let me stop sharing. Dominic.
Yeah.
It's like I'm disabled. I can't share screen.
No, you can share. I've enabled you back.
Yes, so I'm actually trying to look for one Excel sheet that I can use. Let me look for an Excel sheet so that you just see it's just an example. So anytime you see HACCP table and all that, I don't think it's all magic. It's not magic. All those things are actually, based on, okay, can you see the Excel sheet?
Yes.
Okay, so you can see the Excel sheet. So step 1, for example, you have, what do we have there?
So mixing of ingredients, raw material.
So mixing of raw material.
Yeah.
Okay. So mixing of raw material. So the next thing I'll do, hazard. So hazard. So I want to look at for mixing of raw material, we could have physical. What is physical hazard that we can have here? You can see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
What physical hazard? Sorry. This will end in 10 minutes. Dominic. Sorry.
So I think we need to manage our time very well.
Yeah, because I just want people to catch. I'll just do one, then we just jump. Biological. So can we see now?
Yes.
Sorry, don't mind me. So the physical hazard. So what physical hazard do you think we can see here in doing mixing of raw material? When you are dumping. So what physical hazard do you think can happen? What hazard do you think can happen? Physical hazard do you think can happen here? When you talk about physical hazard, you mean, there are hazard caused by, presence of extraneous material such as nail, sand,
Yeah, so we can put them in the chat box or we can just unmute and speak. Remember, I know one of the things we said that last time, we were talking about like threads from sacks.
Threads from sacks. You understand?
Yeah.
I spell the sack well. Hey, good man.
Yes.
Sack. Sac. Now like this.
Sugar. Okay, someone said sugar sack ropes, which is we've mentioned that.
Yeah, which is thread, the same
Okay,
thing.
that's Chidima said.
What else?
Physical.
It's enough. It's enough. So we don't waste time.
Oh, okay. So
it's left for the HACCP team to now be brainstorming.
While they are doing this, okay.
So what chemical hazard can happen there?
Kicking.
What
about kicking? That's not
chemical. Kicking. No. That's not chemical.
Clean agent. Having a contaminant.
Oh, okay.
Chemical residue.
Cleaning agent.
Chemical residue from cleaning agents.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll jump again to biological. So what biological hazard can happen here? Salmonella, contamination,
lubricant,
cross-contamination.
Ishala Akim says lubricant for chemical.
That would be chemical, cross-contamination. And the kind of microbes you can see here can be you can find salmonella, maybe somebody goes to the toilet and they not use hair. Therefore, physical hazard, maybe hair, people's hair. Because they refuse to use nets and all that. So you have identified the hazard, some of these few hazard. So the next one will be the rating, risk. So the risk, somebody's, Kingsley, can you put off your mic so that we can hear?
Sorry.
Yeah, okay, yes.
So for the risk, we said risk is, probability times effect or severity. So I'll use effect.
Yes.
This is how we define risk now. Sure?
Yes, from our last meeting.
Yeah, now don't use and chop a bar.
From our last meeting, yes.
Yeah. So risk is probability that it will happen and the effect. So using our risk matrix, can anybody still remember? Okay, if you look at, so if you go back to the risk matrix, so if you have threads of sac inside, number one, can it kill?
No, the risk is not high.
It's not high, right? So normally, okay, so it's not high. So multiply by what will be that's the severity. Is it likely to happen? Yes.
Yes, it's likely to happen.
So let's give it a 3. Then when it happens, can it kill? What's severity? 1. So
1, yes, it's not high.
This is 3. So if you see for this place now, you still have to go up, man. So if you look at for this one now, the risk here is so you go to the next one. You guys can see what I'm doing, right?
Yes. So maybe we should use individual tabs so that it's easier to
do the rest. So if salmonella happens, is it possible that it's going to happen? Yes.
Yes.
You understand? Somebody can go to toilet, it's very possible, can go to toilet, then the severity, salmonella, salmonella can kill. Salmonella kill people. You understand? It will make you purge. If not well treated, the thing can stop life out of person. So this can be, this will give you 12. So you go and look at it now on your risk table. It might be critical risk. Sorry. I'm just looking at.
Press or enter, you go down. Press down in front of 3. Press enter. Press in front of 3. Press
okay, in front of 3.
No, just Alt and enter. Alt and enter. Yeah.
Okay.
Alt and enter. Yeah.
Alt
and enter. Yeah.
No. Yeah, thanks. I've learned something new. So you can see that for this one is very, very high. It's a high risk and all that. So you will do for chemical residue already. You can see how this, you get your, you know, the risk. You see how we calculate the risk. You understand? So you see that. So the next thing is that, okay, you look at, okay, what control can you put in place here? So what control can you put here? So for the physical hazard, what control can you put? So you put
like sieve.
maybe you like a sieve. Yeah, good. Sieve. So what will be the spec of the sieve? Maybe not less than, maybe less than maybe 0.02 mm. You understand? Sieve. You can also put magnets. You understand?
Yeah.
For metal filings. You understand? Maybe it may not be more than 500 gas. How do they call that thing? There's a way they call it.
Girls.
You know. I mean, I'm an African, so so let's wrap the text.
Okay. So that's
I actually want to take it up. Don't take it up. No, it's for physical hazard. So this is the control that will be there. You understand? So for the biological hazard. What do we do? Somebody goes to toilet. So maybe you should put hand sanitizers, right?
Yes.
Hand sanitizers.
Wash and hand. Wash and sanitize. Wash and
sanitize.
Yeah.
And so hand sanitizers, you know, use of hand gloves. Hand gloves. You understand?
Yes.
So
CCTV. Kingsley said CCTV. Yeah. we started using that because when people see that there's a CCTV at the entrance to the factory, they wash their hands.
Yeah, exactly. So these are the dumping section, you know.
Yes.
This is
the dumping section.
Yeah. Dumping section. So you have that already.
Yeah, but that still works. Hand dryers.
Yeah, it still works. So the next thing is, so this is the control. You understand? So who is responsible for it? Who will be responsible for it?
Who will be responsible for making sure those controls are there?
Yeah. For monitoring of these controls, the sieve. You understand? Who?
Let me not be the first to answer.
The records that you will use, because you need to have the records.
So Grace is saying the hygienist. Grace John says hygienist in each unit.
Yeah, so it depends on what the HACCP team agrees.
Okay.
It depends on what the HACCP team agrees that who should be responsible for monitoring it. Of course, you don't expect the dumpers to supervise themselves. So it must be somebody from maybe quality or somebody from maybe engineering. Maybe because the monitoring of the sieve could require that you need to